happened? I'm kind of chipper. I don't know what that is. You know what I had?
You are very pleasant having run into a wall.
I hadn't had a car accident in a little over a year.
Well, it was time.
You know?
It was
so there
time.
you go. It was time. It was time. Of course. Anyway, well, it was timely that you're watching tonight, because do you know, we literally stole this laptop from HSN.com.
From our friends at HSN.com.
We did. I mean,
right
honest to God, that is a true story. This was our #1 selling laptop at HSN.com, and we not only took it, we pulled it from the internet, but you know what we did? We did a $50 price cut that no one else got.
Awesome.
And then they added a flex pay only for this hour. So basically, you've got a half an hour to qualify for the flex pay. And the great thing about this is, if you are really looking for what I would call the Mac Daddy, this is the one. I mean, you know, you're not messing around. You need a desktop replacement, and you want to be doing everything from word processing and spreadsheets and surfing the web and designing your own web pages and doing graphics and, of course, you know, doing all your Facebook and YouTube, all the great things that we love to do on our laptop. But when you look at these features, I'll just tell you something. That's a computer that you would expect to spend well over $1,000 for. It just is, especially with the brand name of Toshiba. And with 6 flex pays, I'm telling you, this is something that makes you sit up and take notice, especially when you consider that there are over $433 worth of software included with this. And Aaron, this was worth coming in for, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. And I don't get to sell Toshiba very often.
Yeah, I know.
I certainly don't get to sell it in a 17.3-inch HD true bright screen very often. It's one of the best of the best. The other thing about this, it does, gosh, I wish it said, so it tells you that it's quad core. It doesn't tell you that it's the A8 processor. So usually in AMD, when we have a quad core, we have the A4 processor, which is awesome, don't get me wrong, but this is the next level up. This is the A8 processor. I think that's why it's been our most popular selling computer on HSN.com. So it's your quad core processor. It is quite literally I've been at HSN a little over 7.5 years. I've never sold a computer more powerful than this. Now, I have sold computers this powerful at a much higher price. Shannon and I did last year. We sold one for about $9.99, I think.
Yeah, it was close to $1,000, you're right.
So this is a full terabyte of memory. There's not a computer anywhere in inventory that I have ever sold that is more than a terabyte of memory. This has, and that, by the way, just is what allows you to download so much. And I'll get into more of that in a minute, but just as an overview, I've never sold a computer that has more than 8 gigabytes of RAM. RAM is what allows you to multitask on your computer, so you can fly through your programs. You can fly through whatever it is you want to do. And then, of course, the quad-core processor. So quad-core processors are about, this is an approximate, a dual-core processor is about 70% faster than a single-core. A quad-core is about 110% faster. And I'll get more into it in a few minutes. But the point is this. If you're tired of waiting on your computer, you never, ever should have to do it again. And if you get it, you go to your computer and you see an hourglass or you see a circle and you say, well, that's how computers are. You just got to wait. It's taking a while to boot. No, that's, and I say this, you know, with all the love in my heart, that's how your computer is. You know, if your computer is like that, it's not the way all computers are.
No.
It's time to upgrade to a quad-core processor, to more RAM. And remember, many of us have taken the time to upgrade our notebooks, or to upgrade, to upgrade our tablets, or to upgrade our GPS, or to upgrade our phone, or whatever. Your computer is the electronic hub of your home. Your computer is the device that has your optical drive in it. Your computer is the device that has so much memory in it. Your computer is your fastest running device. You literally update your other devices through your computer. And by the way, you'll do it faster on this computer because it has a USB 3.0 port. So if you haven't taken the time to upgrade your computer, maybe you've got some great gadgets in the past few years, but you know if it's time to upgrade your computer, and this is a great way to do it.
It is. Hey, I know you just saw that quantity left. Just like our Kindle Fire sold out, this is another very limited opportunity. I think it's ironic because, see, we rarely take things from HSN.com, usually because they're specialized and they're custom built, and they're built really as designer computers, you know, for all intents and purposes. They're the kind of computers that, quite frankly, are usually priced at $1,200 and $1,300, which, by the way, that's the retail on this computer. So we know when you shop at HSN.com, you get a great deal, but sometimes, and today is that day, where you get an opportunistic buy that we just don't ordinarily do. This is a $1,300 computer. It just is. Toshiba, as Aaron mentioned, I maybe get to sell Toshiba once or twice a year if I'm lucky with him. They are a premier brand manufacturer. They just are. What they have done in this laptop, though, and one other thing I want to point out, not only, you know what's so crazy? I forgot to even mention that it's a 17-inch because the price is so good. You know how Aaron was talking about how, you know, in the last 6 months we sold another Toshiba. And it was basically $1,000, but I think that was a 15-inch computer.
I think it was too. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
And so when I saw this price, I just, oh, it's a 15-inch computer. It's not. This is, well, it's a screen size that everybody covets. It's a screen size that everybody wants. Because when you think about how you're using your computers, you're surfing the internet, you're watching television, you're multitasking. I mean, maybe you're Skyping, maybe you're doing job interviews or classes or learning online. You want something that is not only going to give you superior performance, you want that memory, you want the best processor, you want that RAM, and you want the free software. So to get it in a Toshiba with a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee, a price that is only good for today, and as you know, we love our HSN customers and we love our HSN card holders. So we're also doing VIP financing, in which case if you put it on your HSN card and you're expecting that, you know, tax refund or what have you, you're actually looking at only $77 on your credit card to get this at home. So basically $77.77 a month. So for the final 600 to go around, you want brand name, you want speed, you want great quality, you want this system, but I cannot recommend strongly enough that you grab it tonight while it's available, because we will be raising that price. And you know the thing that I find so interesting, Aaron, is it will absolutely sell out at the higher price at hsn.com.
It was well on its way.
I was going to say, it was well on its way.
You little thief.
I did.
So you purloined it.
Exactly. They saw how I drive. They're like, no, she'll run over us if we don't give it to her.
Right. They were threatened.
They were threatened. I don't blame them.
I don't either. And I don't blame you for, you know, sort of using your wily ways to get this. We love to bring you guys powerful computers. We rarely get to bring you a computer that's quite this powerful. So let me do this. Let me give you a walk around the computer. I want you to see all the ports and those sort of things. Then I'm going to talk through that amazing A8 quad-core processor and some of those other sorts of things. So let's do this. One of the things I want to start by pointing out is this does have a dual-layer DVD-CD optical drive. About 50% of computers sold in the United States now do not have a don't have any optical drive whatsoever. To me, this is important. I want this for, you know, my software, for maybe some of the older software that I have. I want this to be able to burn movies. I want this to be able to burn discs. So the fact that this has the DVD-CD player in it is awesome. There's your first USB port. This does have a USB 3. I know, this is such a sleek computer. It's almost hard to see it because it's so... it's very smooth on the side, and it's sort of that, sort of like an ebony on the side. It's just beautiful. Anyway, 3.0 USB port runs up to 10 times faster than your standard USB port. I'm going to hop around to the other side here. I'll show you first on the way, though. There's your micro-in-one, or your, excuse me, your multi-in-one card slot. So it reads an SD card, an XD card, an MMC card. Turning around to the other side here, there's a spot, there's for an earphone jack, for speakers, though I do want to point out, just take that little point to remind you guys, you see this right here? This is DTS sound. Much like our Kindle Fire didn't ignore sound, neither does this computer. This computer has fantastic sound. You see the sound bar across the front. This is DTS sound, which is very much an upgraded audio experience, much like the Beats headphones are. So we've got, let's see, 2 more USB ports. This is an HDMI port. This port alone is a very expensive port. It allows you to send high-definition video and audio with just one cable from your computer to your television.
That's like a $150 upgrade, isn't it?
It really is, somewhere around there. It's a very, you know, if you're building your own computer. And Shannon, there's an Ethernet port on here as well, so you can, the computer's fully networkable. It has wireless N and wireless N networking card in it. That's the fastest internet protocol anywhere in the world. So this has the latest and fastest internet protocol. You're going to be prepare to be blazingly fast on the web between the RAM, that wireless N, and the fact that you're getting a quad-core. Only about 3 in 10 computers in the country are quad-core. Last thing I'll point out in my little tour that I know Shannon's going to update you guys, high-definition webcam at the top, guys. So not only do you have the True Vision high-definition screen, the HD True Bright display, you also have your high-definition video camera at the top. So for Skyping and webcamming and Facebook and all that kind of stuff, that'll be awesome.
It's pretty amazing. And I do want to point out, I know you've been seeing that quantity left counter rotate at the bottom of your screen, but the only caveat about that quantity left, which you're seeing now, is we say 658 remaining. However, as always, that quantity left does not take into consideration the hundreds of people who are joining us in the various forms of ordering. And, you know, that's one of the great things about shopping at hsn.com. You know, God, I'm embarrassed. I shop on my phone when I'm on the treadmill. How sick is that? So you can shop with HSN lots of different ways. But if you do want this, we have to recommend that you join us now. Not only because of the limited quantities, but because of the fact that we're doing that flex pay only for this hour. Dr. Jeanette Graff is coming up next hour. When you see her, you will not be able to get that flex pay. The thing about Toshiba that really floors me, if you do your research on computers, Toshiba is considered they are a top-tier manufacturer, but they're really kind of a cachet computer. I call them the designer brand. They are really only offered by premium outlets, and they're usually only offered at that $1,300 price. And what's interesting about this is, because we quite literally did, we stole this from HSN.com. On HSN.com, we had already sold a third of the inventory. Most of these were gone at the higher price. Once this hour is over, it's going back to the higher price, and it will sell out. So I guess I look at it this way. For the privileged few of you who are watching tonight, you get a $50 price reduction that no one else got. And I will tell you, the people who bought this for $50 more are thrilled. Because you know what? They're still getting $500 off retail. I mean, they really are. $500 or $600 off retail, depending on how you're shopping. And then you're also getting that 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. But remember, this is a bigger screen than what Aaron and I sold at almost $1,000, you know, a few short months ago, you know, about 6 months ago, I guess, you know, right before the first of the year. So you're not only getting the bigger screen, but you're getting the better battery life. You're also getting the better processor. And quite frankly, you're getting the most memory and the most RAM. Better specs than we offer in any system at any price with a bigger screen. With a bigger screen, which means, you know, this is a desktop replacement in every sense of the word. If you like a full keyboard, if you like to have the full numeric keypad, so this has the alpha keypad and the numeric keypad on the side, it's the AMD quad-core. You see that? A8, A8, A8. I can almost never say that. In fact, that's big news.
Yeah, it's been forever since I've had, I don't know if I've really had one, period. I do a lot of A4 processors. Anyway, the A8 processor is the upgraded processor. 8 gigabytes of RAM, the most RAM we've done in any laptop computer at HSN. 1 terabyte hard drive is the largest hard drive we've done in any computer at HSN. Do you see a theme here? 17.3-inch True Bright display, webcam, and Windows 8. One thing I would love to show you, and then after I show you this, we're going to show you more about that quad-core processor and more about how much this can hold. But I want to start by showing you the software. They're $422. We are the only place in America. Plus, you get there's some other extras that come along with this as well. The better photography and all of that. That's like a $100 value right there. Yeah, just the better photography is. Yeah, and then there's $422 of additional software. So think Free Office, Movavi Photo Suite, Better Photography 101, Movavi Video Editor, which is awesome, and man, you'll be able to edit videos like butter on this. Make your movies so quickly because of the processor, right? PC tune-up. Though Shannon and I both strongly recommend Viper. We have Viper antivirus right now, and it includes the tax cut software. It's a fantastic value. So ask your customer reps about that. We'll try to mention it again in a little bit. Meal Easy, Hallmark Card Studio Express, Family Tree Maker Workshop 2, Budget Tracker Deluxe, Fever Frenzy, Solitaire Mania, and Sudoku Puzzle Addict. So whatever it is you're into, I like that. I think we've done a really good job with the breadth of software that we're including. You know what I like about that software package too? In addition to the menu plan, if you're trying to get in bikini shape, you know, God only knows the snow will melt eventually, believe me. And the $100 photography class. But if you notice that screen, it was a very video and movie and basically visual intensive software program. Part of that is because this is powered by the same processor that movie studios are using to create special effects. If you're a movie freak like I am, I pretty much guarantee you, if you see any movie that is nominated for special effects or animation, Hollywood loves AMD, I'll just tell you that right now, and they love that A8 processor. And the fact that we've got it not in a $1,500 or a $2,000 computer, which I'll just tell you, if you shop just the processor, you're going to find well over $1,000. So just the specs, forget the free software and the brand name of Toshiba, which is really kind of considered what I call the cachet or the designer computer. No one is doing this computer for $116. In fact, we weren't. I know I told the story, but it really is true. In fact, if you were on HSN.com earlier, you saw it. It was listed on HSN.com. They sold a third of the quantity for $50 more, and it did not. It was actually on 4 flex pays. So it was actually closer to $200 to get this at home. So flex pay is very expensive as a company for us to do, because if you're new to HSN, the way that works is you call the number at the bottom of your screen, and
yes, it's basically $600 off retail. However, you're only spending $116 on your credit card today. Now, the first payment includes your shipping, handling, and your tax, but we send you this immediately. It's not like we hold your computer hostage. I mean, you get it right away, so you try it as you buy it. And that means quite literally, in this powerhouse, and when I say powerhouse, do you know we have not sold a single desktop that has been more powerful than this? We just haven't. I mean, this is as powerful as any desktop that we've ever offered. It's more powerful than any other laptop that we've ever offered. It was the most powerful laptop that we were selling at HSN.com. And after this show, because believe me, my planners will be happy to do it. They love it, you know, when we've got inventory to put back on the internet. Because that's how I do my shopping. I know you do too. But when it goes back on .com, it won't be this price, just so you realize. So when it goes back on HSN.com, it goes back to $750, and then the flex pay also goes away as well. So I hope you try it. At least get it at home. I look at it that way because this is, again, that designer, elite, that cachet computer, the same processor that if you watch that Red Carpet Academy, you know, event like I do, that's the same processor that Hollywood is using in their special effects. And Hollywood, as I said earlier, they love AMD. AMD, they were really kind of the you know, the forerunners, if you will, in processors that were better equipped to handle video. And Aaron, I think that's the funny thing, because sometimes when people buy computers, they think, oh, why do I need a terabyte? Why do I do?
Right.
We don't think about it, but even when you go on a shopping website, you know, you see the little fashion runway, or here at HSN.com, you know, the models, you know, it's like they're trying on the clothes for you. Whether you're a novice or beginner, you're just, you know, shopping online, you're doing video-intensive stuff, and you need that better computer.
If you're watching Netflix, if you're playing games, it's also the same processor that's in the Xbox One and in PlayStation. So if you're a gamer,
what does that tell you?
You are going to be blown away by the quality of this processor, the speed with which this processor moves. I want to show you guys a little bit more about the processor. We have this really great animation that we're going to show it to you twice in a row, actually. It describes what's happening inside your computer. So we're saying processor, 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 and you're thinking,
who cares?
What you're hearing is wah, 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 right? Okay, here's the deal with processor.
Charlie Brown.
Right? That's what, I get it. I understand. I watch TV too. So the guy in the green scarf. Did you notice that when he got to the grocery store, there were only 2 lanes open? Now,
it happened to me today. I was so mad.
And you were probably there for 4 hours, right? Here's the thing. This is exactly how the quad core inside your computer works. When you get to the grocery store and there's only 2 lanes open, it's going to take a while. And you know it's going to take a while because things get gummed up. You know, somebody up there is writing a check, you know, and that takes forever, and they got to run it through the check scan and whatever. As soon as they open up 4 lanes, though, everything moves so much more quickly. That's exactly what happens inside your computer. So, when you're watching video, maybe you're writing a document. Maybe you're running Viper antivirus, which Shannon and I both love and recommend. There's a 10 license version of it with Tax Act available. It's a great value tonight. So you want to ask about that. So you're running antivirus in the background. Maybe you're downloading music or listening to music. Your computer, whether you realize it or not, it's doing a lot of things. If there's only 1 or 2 channels, processors, cores, if you will, for that information to go, if something is a little memory intensive, then everything else just waits behind it.
Yeah,
and that's why you see that circle, and that's why you see that hourglass. That doesn't happen here because it's like a 4-lane highway. Information can simply move around more easily. That's why you need a quad core. Now, there are other, of course, highly specialized and highly important, frankly, things that go into the quad core. One of the things in this is not the A4 processor, which is a great processor. This is the A8. This is the upgraded AMD quad core processor. So it is the best of the best when it comes to the AMD family. As Shannon said, Hollywood loves it. It's in the Xbox One. It's in the PlayStation. This will be an experience for you when you get this computer home. And think, you go to your computer how many times a day? 8, 10, 12, I mean, all day long, right? You start in the morning with email, and you probably go to bed signing off with Facebook. You shouldn't have to wait on your computer all of the time. There's no sense in it. It just takes too much time out of your day. And when you say, oh, well, you know, it took an extra 5 minutes longer than it should have. Well, when you do that a dozen times a day, that's an hour out of your day. And when you do that 5 times a week, that's 5 hours out of your week. I think you understand where I'm going with this. It really does give you more time back. And it's just it's more fun. When your computer's more responsive, it's just more fun.
Couldn't have said it better. And I know you're seeing that quantity left counter. We'll show it to you again because I know we have so many people who are joining us. You know, with the 500 that we have have remaining, at least give it a try. Listen, I realize we sell a lot of great computers here at HSN. The interesting thing to me, though, is, first of all, this price is an upgrade. We as you know, we don't sell 17-inch laptops for $6.99. If we just started there, this is the screen size that is so coveted. Every single 17-inch laptop that we've ever sold in HSN history, every single one has gone on to be a customer pick. People just love the screen size. Toshiba, we do maybe 2 Toshiba customer pick laptops a year, and that's it. We usually do them in sellout quantities because this is not only a top tier, it's what I call a designer manufacturer. It's one that you only see at prestige retailers and one that you only see for around $1,300, $1,200 or $1,300. So this is over $600 off of retail. And then on top of that, we've got limited quantities. So I know you're seeing some information at the bottom of your screen. We'll show you that quantity left one more time because it is only for this hour where we are offering that flex pace. So for the final 500 of you, I would at least try it. If you've always, I don't know about you, but maybe you do this. I'm this way with cars. I drive a used car right now. It's got a few dents in it, maybe another new one that I did today. When I drive down the highway, I think, oh, someday I'd like to have that luxury automobile, right? And you imagine yourself in those bucket seats with that leather, and you can almost smell that new car smell, but maybe you think that you can never afford it, so you go to the used car lot, and, that's what I end up with. But it's the luxury car that you really want. This is that luxury car. The only difference is you are getting it for $116 on your credit card, and we're allowing you to pay as you go. You buy it as you try it. So you know what? You do deserve the best. You work hard for your money, and doggone it, you need a great laptop. I've got a couple of friends whose kids are graduating from high school this year, and they're already starting to plan about what their kids are going to use in college. Listen, I love my tablet like everyone else, but when they're doing their term papers, when they're doing their online courses, when they're doing their grades, when they're conferring with their professors, if you want the serious computer, and I will tell you this, if you're working from a home, if you're fortunate enough to be telecommuting, you need a great computer. It's not do you want a good computer, you need a great computer. And this is not a good computer, it's a great system. And the fact that you're doing it for a little over $116 with that, Academy chip, if you will, the one that Hollywood loves, the one that the Xbox is using, the one that the PlayStation is using, getting it in a high-definition big screen. This is a full high-definition widescreen experience with better memory, with better RAM, with the better processor, and, of course, all of the extra bells and whistles, all the extra programs as well. And, at the end of the day, like Aaron said, when you've got a better computer, it just makes it more fun. And for me, I guess they're going to come out with cars that can drive themselves, and apparently that's what I need to be going for. This is like the laptop that drives itself. It's virtually impossible to fail because you get that faster response time and you get that better processor. And I think that's what happens, Aaron, is when people try to, and you'll forgive me for saying this, but when people try to, be penny wise and pound foolish, or go cheap, then you end up with a computer that is slower and sluggish, and that's when I think people get frustrated and they say, oh, I'm not good with technology.
Right.
It's not that you're being failed, it's like the technology that you've got right now is failing you because you don't have the right one.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. One of the things I want to show you guys, do you realize you're not looking through an HSN, one of our $100,000 studio cameras right now? You're looking through the webcam. You're looking through the high-definition webcam that's on your Toshiba. So at the look at that color. Gosh, True Bright screen is just a lovely, lovely screen. So anyway, it's a 17-inch screen, but there's a high-definition webcam at the top as well. So that makes, communicating with friends and family, anything you do on the internet so much easier. I want to remind you as well about Viper, our Viper antivirus. Tonight we have the 10 licensed Viper antivirus. It comes along with Tax Act. Couldn't be a better season, right? We're about, maybe about 20 days or so away from when you got to have your taxes in, and go away from April 15th. So it's great to have protection for everything on your computer and get your taxes done at the same time. So ask your customer reps about Tax Act, please. Wanted to show you the quality of the webcam. So I'm on the webcam. You notice how good the color is, how my mouth and the sound that you hear are pretty much in sync with each other. It's a very, very strong webcam experience. Here's the next thing I'm going to do. I'm going to show you just a couple things about Windows 8. So this has Windows 8 built in. In a minute, you're going to see my hand, actually. I'm going to hop over to it's called the Windows Metro view. So I go, boop, now I'm in the Windows Metro view. So you see these, they're called live tiles. Those live tiles are actually programs. So if you were in, an older version of Windows, Windows 7 or Vista or whatever, you would see lists or little bitty icons, but you're going to see my fingers now in the, probably on the left-hand side. There we go, on the upper left-hand side of your screen. That's perfect. I want to show you some, just a little bit different way that Windows 8 works. So I just pulled up a photo. There's Guy Yovan and my best buddy in the world, Melissa Dawson. I want to show you how I would share this photo. Remember how you used to have to open up a mail program, and then you'd have to open up the photo, and you'd have to find the, paper clip, and do they match? Now, it was a pain, right? Watch. It's almost like, you know how we love our tablets and our phones because they're touch screen? This is like a touch screen pad. Let me show you what I mean. Watch the right side of your screen. When I swipe my finger from right to left, did you guys see what happened there? When I swipe from right to left, all of these charms came up on the right side of your screen. So if I want to share this photo, all I do is go share. So I'm just going to choose share, and it's going to say, how do you want to share it? And I'll say, well, how about by mail? It's actually attaching the photo for me. You'll see, look, it says one file attached. So the file is attached. It's done. There it is. It even popped up for you. This is just an example, sort of the world of Windows 8, of how much more user-friendly it is, of how much easier it is to use. Again, there's that Metro view, but there's also a desktop view. And I'll show you that. You know what? Let's hop back into my computer for just a minute. I want to show you that. So there's the Metro view, which is new and which is so cool because it's very interactive. It's very graphic. I think it's really user-friendly. But if you're someone that says, hey, I've learned Windows 7, I love Windows 7, I don't want anybody fooling around with my Windows, no problemo, you can always go to the desktop view as well. So it really, sort of the world is your oyster when it comes to deciding where exactly it is you want to spend most of your time on your computer in terms of what your operating system looks like. Right now I've got Google Earth up. I just want to show you, even in Google Earth, Google Earth is a program that takes a ton of memory. You need to have a lot of RAM, you need to have a lot of open memory, you need to have a fast processor. Well, you can see just how quickly I am able to hop into Siena, Italy, a very beautiful place that I was fortunate enough to visit earlier last year, actually. And look, this is Google Earth. You can see how beautiful the graphics are in this. There's a reason that this is the same processor that's in the PlayStation 1. There's a reason that this is the same processor that's in, the Xbox One and PlayStation both. So to do a quick little review, if you're just joining us, we've got the Toshiba computer. We don't have the Toshiba brand nearly enough. 17.3-inch screen. It's the largest screen we do. This has been the biggest seller on HSN.com this week. So Shannon worked a little bit of magic, got it here for you guys to have the 17.3-inch screen, the upgraded AMD quad-core processor. Only about 3 computers in 10 in this country right now are quad-core to begin with. You're getting the upgrade of that processor. So it has 4 brains or 4 engines underneath the hood, which means it just processes faster. It means, when you use this computer, you can feel the difference in speed relative to a single-core computer or to a dual-core computer. It does have, and I know a ton of you were calling and asking.
That's a big deal.
The optical drive is built in. Less than 50% of computers sold in the country now have an optical drive built in. This computer most certainly does. And then I'd love to show you one more time at HSN and exclusively at HSN. It's one of the most fun things about selling computers here. We're often able to get you guys a great software package that you would never find anywhere else. Just the software. You could go out and buy these programs individually. Don't get me wrong, they're available. It's just they're not included anywhere else. It would cost you $422. You get Think-Free Office. These are all full, non-expiring versions. Think-Free Office, Movavi, I always mess that up. Movavi Photo Suite, Better Photography 101, Movavi Video Editor, Memories on TV4, PC Tune-Up, Autosave Essentials, Meal Easy, Hallmark Card Studio Express 6, Family Tree Maker Workshop. That's a great genealogy program, by the way. If you're into genealogy at all, you'll really enjoy that. Budget Tracker Deluxe, Fever Frenzy, Solitaire Mania, and Sudoku Puzzle Addict, Shannon.
I mean, it's loaded when you think about it.
It really
and
is.
What's interesting, and I know we've been talking a lot about the video-intensive nature of this, and, if you're watching this, you're saying, but I just need a computer for school, or I just need a computer for work. What a lot of people don't realize, it's kind of like when you buy a television. If you buy a high-definition television, that's automatically a better TV because of the technology that's built into this. This is already a better computer because of the technology that is built into this. And that's the whole key thing. It doesn't matter whether you're just doing word processing, or just surfing the web, or just Facebooking, or whatever your little heart desires. It's just a better experience when you've got the right computer and the right specifications. And now with the final 400, and these are going, I actually just saw Dr. Jeanette Graff in the hallway. She is coming up with a show that I have to say is as jam-packed as any show I've ever seen. New technology, products to help you firm, products to help you lift, retinol, unlike anybody else has to offer. So hopefully you can stick around for that. It's always great to have Dr. Graff here. But when you see Dr. Jeanette Graff, unfortunately, you will not be able to qualify for that flex pay. That is something that they did only for this hour. And remember, this is a this day only. Now, it will be going back on hsn.com. Just don't be surprised when you see a higher price and when you see a higher flex pay. The flex pay, I think, is going back to $4, in which case it's almost $200 to get this at home. Still a great deal, because this is the cachet computer. It's the upgraded computer. It's what I call the designer consigner, the designer computer. I mean, it really is. But the fact that we're taking over $600 off of retail, over $600 off of retail, only for this show, you know, at least get it at home and at least try it. And I think, Erin, that's the big thing, is until you get a computer of this quality, you don't really realize what a difference it's going to make. Because I think for a lot of us out there, we get in that old rut. We expect our computer to crash, or we just expect that, okay, if I'm running multiple programs, it's just going to take a while, or it's going to take a while to boot things up. You get a computer like this at home, and then you really are spoiled. You expect and you should demand a better experience. I mean, even little things like watching your Netflix or watching videos online, watching YouTube, everything is smoother and faster with the right computer.
And one of the reasons this is smoother and fast, because everyone looks at the screen and go, wow, it just looks so much nicer. Is that my eye? No, it's not your eyes. There's actually something called an accelerated processing unit, an APU built into this. This is technology that's exclusive to AMD computers. We're going to show you it right now. Before we do, most computers have a graphics processor and a central processor. The central processor is more important. Well, they're both important. Anyway, central processor and a graphics processor. And so they have to sort of speak to each other across the circuitry of the computer. Well, watch. It's different in this computer. In this computer, those are merged together. So the central processor and the graphics processor become one piece of hardware. They're both made and designed by AMD, and AMD puts them together. So here's what this means to you. It means that you're going to have better performance in your computer, accelerated performance, because it doesn't have to go through as many steps going from the brain to the screen. By the way, your computer will be more energy efficient and have an extended battery life, and that's another key on this. With 17.3-inch computers, often you have a very short battery life. This is a 6-cell lithium-ion battery, and it has a nice long battery life. And in fact, the computer's processor is designed to make sure that the battery life is extended. Can I tell you something else that's really cool? I just learned this not too long ago. I always thought, you know how you turn on your laptop and it's like, it takes, 3 minutes for it to come on, right? It takes 3 minutes if you're lucky. I always thought that had to do with the computer itself. It really didn't. It had to do with Microsoft. It had to do with the operating system and how it loaded. Windows 8 actually loads faster. So this computer turns on super fast. And that's I think that's one of the best things about it is, and I think it's one of the reasons many of us love tablets, is we can turn our tablets on quickly. Now you can turn your full-out laptop on quickly as well. And let's face it, there is no substitute for a laptop. There is no substitute for a full terabyte. We need to show everyone what a terabyte of memory looks like.
You know what, we do, and I know you see that quantity left, and guys, at this point, I will tell you, if you are joining us, now remember, Dr. Jeanette Graff is literally just moments away. When we turn the page to that new hour, they do take away that flex pay. So remember, when it goes back to the original flex pay, it's almost $200 to get home. So just, I buy everything here on flex pay. I figure, hey, it's kind of like a free loan. You get to try it as you buy it. I mean, so why wouldn't you at least get it at home and see what a superior processor and what a really superior, what I call the designer computer, is going to deliver, regardless of whether or not you're doing work or play on this. I think you're going to be thrilled. And Erin, that's just a lot of people.